Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Newsbeat right here on Metro Television. I am Isiodua Akumia. Now coming up in the next hour. Prophet Kofi Oduro calls for the head of LaBianca CEO, asks President Akufo-Addo to relieve her of her duties and prosecute her. Now, members of the Customs Staff Association punch holes in OSP report implicating officials for their involvement in corrupt practices involving LaBianca Company Limited. Now, in international news, at least 8 people have been injured after a gunman opened fire on a bus near the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City. Now, members of the Customs Staff Association have backed their boss, COL retired Kojo Damwa, who earlier this week hit back at the special prosecutor for implicating his office in acts of corruption involving LaBianca Company Limited. According to the staff, the special prosecutor's report was misconceived and technically flawed. Here are excerpts of the statement. So, the management of the Customs Division and the leadership of the Customs Staff Association have noted with consternation media reports making the rounds on some online platforms about an imminent shake-up at the hierarchy of the GRA aimed at replacing Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu-Amwa and Colonel Kojo Damwa, retired, Commissioner General and Commissioner of Customs, respectively. The timing of these publications is particularly distractive and worrying as it coincides with the management retreat of the Customs Division in Kumasi, aimed at strategizing and adopting measures to exceed this year's annual revenue target of 20.6 billion Ghana cedis. Now, as a result, we wish to issue this release for the attention of the appointing authority and the general public to state as follows: that the management of the Customs Division and the leadership of the Customs Staff Association have resolved to throw our unflinching support behind Colonel Damwa, retired, to continue as the Commissioner, especially in these difficult periods when the country is in dire need of revenue. That Colonel Kojo Damwa's tenure as Commissioner has seen considerable improvement in the performance of the Customs Division, and this has led to the achievement of the annual revenue targets from the year 2020 to date, with the division exceeding its target for the year 2021. That's the investigative report of the Office of the Special Prosecutor dated 3rd August 2022 on LaBianca Group of Companies in relation to customs valuation is misconceived and same is born out of the misconception of benchmark values as a method of valuation rather than a risk management tool. This is inconsistent with the World Trade Organization's rules on customs valuation and Section 67 of the Customs Act 2015, Act 891. Now let's take a listen to what the Secretary of the Customs Staff has to say.
Short collections or revenue shortfalls that are collected as a result of either importers abusing the law or infringing on the law is a daily occurrence within the Customs Administration of Ghana. In fact, on daily basis, customs officers identify infractions and penalties are levied and short collections are retrieved. And therefore, using the benchmark as the basis for this one, we feel it is not borne out of the law. This, in essence, has nothing to do about who occupies even the office of Customs Commissioner today. This is born out of the laws that are supposed to be applied when it comes to customs valuations. So therefore, whoever occupies the office of Customs Commissioner would be justified in applying the same law in a manner in which it was described to have been applied in this case. And it is evident that his tenure as commissioner has been, even though within the COVID period, you would bear us out that from 2020 to date, Customs has been able to meet their revenue target. And in particular last year, we actually exceeded our revenue target for the year. And looking at the period in which we are as a country, and looking at the timing of these publications, we feel that any attempt to, as it were, destabilize the management of customs now would truncate policy and tend to negatively affect the
Now, still on the LaBianca issue, General Overseer of Alabaster International Ministry, Prophet Kofi Oduro, is calling on the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to release the CEO for LaBianca off her duty in government and prosecute her for non-payment of taxes.
How can somebody as a sitting Council of State member, who has a business, how can that person whose business is dealing with Ghana ports and harbors, how can she be on the board of GAPOA? Why? What kind of conflict of interest is that? Do you think that if Kofi Oduro is the person on duty now odi eniyama ba omemu like LaBianca is doing, do you think that I will be standing here? Where is Iyoko? Where is national security? And when this special prosecutor arrives, you can have a SEPS boss calling that man small boy. You are living in a sick country. You are living in a sick nation. I came to warn the leadership of this nation. We are not asking that lady to resign. We are asking our president to fire her. That is what we are asking. Don't we deserve some kind of accountability? Don't we deserve some kind of righteousness, peace and joy in the Holy Ghost? Don't we deserve a nation? We deserve as a nation that fears.
Now, the Ghana Police Service has refuted claim of influencing bail by the Northern Regional NPP Chairman Adam Bantama Samba at night. According to the police, the social media publication made by Adam Samba is considered erroneous and has entreated the public to treat such with the contempt it deserves.
In a press statement signed by the Northern Regional Acting Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Bernard Baba Ananga, the police service has made claims refusing a social media publication made by the Northern Regional NPP Chairman Adam Samba of saying he will make record by breaking police principle of not granting or administering bail at night. The service has therefore stated that its principle forbids with the authority not to grant bail at night, and further stated that the bail is a constitutional right of arrested persons and can be granted bail at any time of the day, including holidays and weekends. They have therefore considered the statement a clear demonstration of ignorance of the law and has urged the public to treat it with the contempt.
Hundreds of supporters of Trade Minister Alan Kyerematen on Saturday defied party orders to stage what they called a health walk dubbed Edruwoso. Despite caution from party executives against the supposed health walk, the pro-Alan supporters went ahead to organize the walk, which was highly patronized. The party is again open or covert campaigns ahead of the opening of nominations for the flag bearership position. The walk was, however, in sharp contrast with the party's dictates. Well, let's take a listen to what some supporters have to say.
The team, Adru so have work. It's Alan's turn. 2007, everybody was saying, no. 2007, former President Kufuor was strongly behind Alan Kyerematen. And they whip government appointees online. But party says, no, it's Akufo-Addo's turn. You move fitted. So why the jump? Are you getting it? So it's Alan Kyerematen's turn. And we are supporting him. Me, everybody knows, I've declared my support for Alan long ago. And nobody can coerce me to rescind my decision. Are you getting it? That's me. So everywhere I hear Alan group doing anything, I will go and support them.
I'm well above, overwhelmed to see this Asantuma project going on. Unfortunately, we are hearing that some leaders of the party are kicking against the Ashanti project, and they said they will kill it. But today, Asantuma has spoken, Asantuma will speak, and Asantuma will determine the breaking of faith with Alan Kojo Kyerematen as our leader for the contest in 2024.
What do you mean by Ashanti project?
Oh, we are in the party. We have our intel. We have some leading members in the party here, in Ashanti region here, who are kicking against Alan Kojo Kyerematen becoming the leader of the party in the 2024 presidential primaries. But we are telling them that it is not only the party faithful that are galvanizing support for Alan Kyerematen, but the whole Asantuma has spoken. Quite recently, we heard the chairman of the party in the region saying that the polling station executive wants to bring a certain candidate. But here, Alan is not looking at the polling station executive. He is looking at the core citizens in the country to lead. And the citizens have spoken.
Nana Boakye Nanabi has been in this party. He was a youth organizer. At that time that he was a youth organizer, he was endorsing the candidates on radio stations and television stations. Recently, right after the regional congress, regional elections, we have seen regional chairman, regional executive trooping into the Flagstaff House, Jubilee House, to visit a potential candidate. Nana Boakye has been a party executive. Nana B, he said nothing about it. Even right after this national conference, we saw our national women organizer, KJMFU, organizing all regional women organizers to Jubilee House to visit a particular candidate. Nobody said anything about it. But he had the audacity to speak on radio. He got the nerve to speak on radio and TV, telling us if this work goes on, they are going to deal with the person whom we are working with. Recently, we saw the Tafu MP, Ekwasefua, on TV, endorsing the candidate. We have seen my own MP, Honorable Matopoku Pempe, endorsing the candidate on Peace FM. We have seen many people endorsing candidates. What have they said? Nothing. But there is a work, and I can confirm to you because I'm one of the organizers. Honorable Alan Kyerematen never supported this work. In fact, he told us to stop this work. We respected Honorable Alan Kyerematen, but we told him we respect him, but we are not stopping the work.
Meanwhile, a former Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Obi Boahene, says the actions of alleged fans of Trade Minister Alan Kyerematen in a seeming campaign walk does not flout any rule or law in politics. Nana Obi Boahene was speaking to Kenneth Jesse on Newsnight.
I cannot complain. Why? Because I've also taken sides. I've long started shouting from the rooftop that I am a major player in the Bawumia campaign team. Of course, I've told the whole world that I am going to present Dr. Bawumia. So I don't think that I have any moral or legal or constitutional right to complain. And there's no need to complain. Who want to complain? Well, that is their own problem. Because you see, what happened today is a health walk by individuals who are sympathizers of Mr. Kojo Kyerematen. Honestly speaking, there's nothing wrong. I'll congratulate my brothers who conducted the health walk.
Now, Obi Boahene was, however, quick to add that he is throwing his weight behind Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia in the upcoming 2024 elections.
Man, we are all part and parcel of the New Patriotic Party. If tomorrow supporters of another candidate or another aspirant, they take to the street to to go and health work. What is wrong about that? Well, so you can call the General Secretary and find out from him. Certainly not Obrigboahin, who has demonstrated beyond preponderance of probability that I am one who is at the forefront of presenting Dr. Bawumia. So what moral, legal right do I have even to complain? I'll even cheer them up. I will congratulate them. I'll say, bravo. The battle lines are drawn. We will do a lot of activities. Symposia, lectures, self-work, what have you. Mark my words. I am personally going to devote a lot of time as a private legal practitioner. I'm going to devote much time for Bawumia, pro-Bawumia activity.
Now, residents of Sanku Binase, a town in the Etiwa West District of the Eastern Region, are calling on relevant stakeholders to urgently commission a newly built 6-unit classroom block. The block, which was completed about 3 years ago, is still locked whilst pupils study in a dilapidated structure.
About 3 years ago, this 6-unit classroom block was completed. Teachers, pupils, as well as members of the community heaved a sigh of relief, thinking the years of study under dilapidated structures by pupils would come to an end. But that is not the case. The facility is still under lock and key, and the pupils continue to study under worsening conditions. They want relevant stakeholders to, as a matter of urgency, commission the classroom for use.
School was started 2019 when they do the third cutting, giving assurance that by 2 years they will finish. And the contractor did well. We finished the school about 2 years ago. We're expecting them to do the commission. Since ever, none of them have been here to do the commission. So most of the children have left from this place to other towns, especially nearby town, Abomosu and then Fiapiase and Bomso, because they saw that they are going for the nice school. So the children are not.
Meanwhile, pupils of the RC Junior High School who are preparing for the Basic Education Certificate examination are in doubt whether they'll be able to excel in ICT. This is as a result of lack of computers and other facilities to make study of the subject easy.
We don't have computers here, so when we have some questions to do it in the lab, we can't do it. And we don't have chairs here. We are going to take the chairs that are in the primary school. So we plead the authority to bring us chairs and computers.
We need more computers in our school so that we can answer correct answers in the ICT.
In order to improve education, Chief of Sanku Binase, Nanata Jamana II, is renovating an old school block to serve as a library and ICT facility for the junior high school. It will also serve as a workshop for pupils with interest in technical and vocational education. The chief wants the newly built basic school commissioned and is also calling for support from government and benevolent entities for a teacher's quarters he already begun. According to him, most teachers reject postings to the community due to accommodation challenges.
A teacher for normal bar, omunya baby intina. Sometimes in Cronco education and Weshan, or now Moko Handan, and more school. Osan says teacher names are there to know Unya Kama school. Akolano go small what you no train teacher. It is a don't cook a teacher in the bar. Never saw Colana Tanaho. George Chadia bear 1 hour be another TV. I was open. Now,
We go for a quick break. We'll be back with some more stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Newsbeat. Now, 35-year-old Felix Yorson is in the grips of the Gomwa Dominasa District Police Command for poisoning food expected to be sold to the public. The suspect was said to have mixed a large portion of corn dough, which was intended to be sold at the market by his mother, with a substance believed to be a weedicide.
The suspect was arrested following a formal complaint to the police by his mother upon sensing danger. According to reports, the mother found an empty container of a substance believed to be weedicide beside the condo. She later detected a foul smell when mixing the dough, prompting her to make the report. Felix Yorsing, upon his arrest, confessed to the police that he intended to poison the entire community through the act. Some residents of the community have been expressing sentiments about the situation.
Several people would have been affected. There should be prescribed punishments for people who intend committing such acts. The law should take its course. He must be punished accordingly.
It would have been a difficult situation. Prices of coffins have even increased these days. Several people would have died, so he must be punished.
The police is investigating the case.
Away from that, 47-year-old Kofi Atta is battling for his life after he mysteriously cut his genitals whilst asleep. The man is currently on admission at the St. Francis Xavier Hospital in Asin-Fosu.
According to his wife, Ajwa Kunedu, her husband had dreamt of slaughtering a goat, only to wake up in a pool of blood and realized he had rather cut his genitals. The victim, who has since been transferred to the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, is however still stuck at the St. Francis Xavier Hospital in Asin-Fosu due to inability to raise money.
Well, that story is rather unfortunate. Now, it's that time of the year when family and friends pour onto the old city of Gamashi, sprinkling the traditional kpokpri. At Jamestown, dignitaries flooded the palace of the Gbesemanche to celebrate with the revered traditional leader. Vice President Dr. Baumia, former President Mahama, and National Chief Imam were all present.
This year's Gahomawo Festival was highly patronized. The sprinkling of pukwe by chiefs was accompanied by screams from both the young and old. The Gbesemanche's palace was flooded by several dignitaries, including Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and former President John Dramani Mahama.
We recognize the status of the Gbesemanche in the Ghana state, and we are here to pay homage and I'm here with the Mayor of Accra, with the regional chairman of the party, with all the constituency chairmen of the party, the MMDCs and so on. So we are here in full force to pay homage and to say happy Homowa celebrations.
In his remarks, the Gbesemanche called for unity amongst political parties.
Ka ayema afio kumi na kabuo mai. No mene hone inde shidani ka bada mishi. Kam kokwa nandi mene afibe be kona de kapoto damu amipe be mokoni jongo ojogba.
Well, coming up next is business. MP for Cape Coast South, Ricketts Hagen, is raising doubts over the possibility of a successful IMF bailout due to the continuous downgrade of the Ghanaian economy by international rating agencies.
IMF does not lend to countries that have debt that are not sustainable. Oh, wow. So if the analysis is done, when the IMF came and I sat in one of their meetings when they were in Parliament, and we asked them, you are here, presumably, Ghana's debt is unsustainable. Diplomatic answer is, we can't actually tell you that. The same IMF, who said that this country has a higher debt risk, few months before, is saying, we can't tell you that your debt are not sustainable until we have actually done debt sustainability analysis. And then after that debt sustainability analysis is done, that is the diagnosis, then we may ask you to restructure. And then when you start restructuring, at some stage, obviously you can't finish all the restructuring before you get into a program. So they've got to determine somewhere within the restructuring that you have done enough for a program to start. Now, the bigger problem we have at the moment is this rating agencies. And if we don't pay attention, this is where we're basically going to be destroyed from. When you go back, and I don't want to make it too long, there is a historic stuff here we need to look at. When you go back, we started, look, these institutions, your financial analyst was trying to break it down for us to understand. We hear all this Standard & Poor's, Fitch, Moody's. Who are they? Standard & Poor's, they've been around for a long time. It's the oldest, almost about 165 years. You have Fitch, over 100 years. You have Moody's, another 100 years. They've been around for a long time. They are the three biggest rating agencies in the world. There are other smaller ones. These are the ones that may give you credibility.
Meanwhile, government spokesperson on security and governance, Paul Grave-Boakye-Danquah, says government has already taken steps to cut down on expenditure through their digitization drive, currently being spearheaded by Vice President Dr. Bawumia.
Indeed, this is some very difficult times for us as a government, and we appreciate the feedback that we have received from these ratings. It's a clear indication, really, for us as a government that our decision to go to the IMF is one of a curious moment, which we have seized. One of the things that I recall the president stating was that a number of the measures that the finance minister and even our government was going to roll out were going to be very difficult for the Ghanaian people. And I think that these ratings also appreciate the impact of COVID-19 and also the impact of the Russia invasion into Ukraine. And they also appreciate the expenditure cuts that government has put in place. You've also seen that the various state institutions have done very well with clearing a lot more of the ghost names that exist. I mean, earlier this week, you noticed how Senate had cleared close to about 21,000 ghost names that has saved the Ghanaian economy close to about 312 million Ghana cedis. Number of ghost names as well from NSS, 14,000 ghost names have been cleared. That has also saved the Ghanaian economy close to about 114 million Ghana cedis. Through the digitalization processes as well, as we've sought to digitalize some aspects and all aspects of the Ghanaian economy, you would realize that DVLA has been able to increase revenue from 2017 from the tune of 566 million Ghana cedis to close to about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis as of 2021. You'll also realize that online applications of passports has also increased a lot more revenue into the Ghanaian economy, close to the tune of about 56.7 million Ghana cedis. So if you look at the number of these interventions that government has put in place, we are very confident. And as President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has stated over and over again, we are very confident that by the time the IMF gets back to us with all the conversations that we had begun, we would be able to see that the economy is bouncing back on its feet.
Now, demand for dollars in Ghana surpassed supply by over 100 million US dollars. That is according to the latest data by the Bank of Ghana.
According to the latest result of the sale of dollars through the Forex Forward Rates auction to dealers, the central bank was only able to supply 25 million US dollars to the dealers, largely the banks. In actual fact, the bids submitted for the purchase of the US dollar was estimated at 130.25 million US dollars. This was far higher than the bids submitted 2 weeks ago. The high demand for the US dollars indicates why the city has come under severe pressure in recent days, losing ground against the foreign currency. 47.5 million US dollars of the 7-day tenor was the highest bid by the dealers, followed by 30.75 million US dollars for the 15-day tenor. The 30-day tenor received bids worth 17.75 million US dollars, whilst the 45-day tenor received bids amounting to 3.25 million US dollars. That of the 60-day and 75-day tenors were estimated at 3.5 million US dollars and 750,000 US dollars respectively. Meanwhile, the city is presently trading at almost 10 cedis to the dollar in the retail market.
Well, that's it for business. We go for a quick break. We'll be back with some more stories. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back. It's time for sports. Nagod FC came from behind to beat Port City FC 2-1 in the Division 2 playoff at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Accra-based side came into the match buoyed by their opening day 3-0 victory against Volta Region's Agbogba FC.
The Division 2 League playoff was specially designed for teams that finished second in the recent Division 2 League to fight for the single remaining slot in Zone 3 following the demotion of Inter Allies Football Club. Sadiq Moro opened the scoring for Port City in the 19th minute. The nimble-footed midfielder beautifully controlled a rebound inside the penalty area before smashing home. The opening goal gave Port City some confidence as they pushed men forward in search of more goals, but the defense of Nagod FC were equally up to the task as they dealt with the onslaughts. Ernest Appiah leveled matters for Nagod FC in the 63rd minute to send their fans into wild jubilation. The pressure paid off in the 79th minute after the ball touched the hand of a defender in the penalty box after an attempt to clear his lines. The referee pointed to the spot as he whistled for a penalty in favor of Nagod FC. Owusu-Brefo sent goalkeeper Sadiq Mohammed the wrong way as he smashed a low shot into the bottom corner for the match winner. The result means Nagod FC have qualified for the 2022-2023 Division 1 League after making it back-to-back wins from the 2 matches. The Domi-based second-tier club will join 15 other clubs in Zone 3 of the Division 1 League. The 2022-2023 Division 1 League campaign will kick off in the weekend of Friday, September 30 to Monday, October 3, 2022 across the 3 zones.
That's it for sports. Up next is entertainment news. The highly anticipated Chalawote Street Arts Festival is back again. This year, the organizers have promised a bigger and better event from 15th to the 24th of August.
The Chalawote Street Art Festival is a community-based festival that is celebrated annually. The event usually takes place in Jamestown, one of Accra's most historic communities. The festival is an alternative platform that brings art, music, dance and performance out into the streets. The festival targets local and international artists. Since 2011, Chalewote has included street painting, graffiti murals, photography, theater, interactive art installations, live street performances, extreme sports, film shows, and others. An organizer for the festival, Manche Ayikwe, said after halting for 3 years due to COVID-19, the festival is coming back in a grand style this year.
Every year, we work also through the Ministry of Tourism, the Ghana Tourism Authority, and the AMA. We work with the Ghana Police Service to ensure security within the festival perimeter. Well, there will certainly be performances and art installations that the city and the continent hasn't seen before. So come out and see it. From the 12th to the 21st of August, our big activities start from Monday the 15th. Our opening, the grand opening will be at Brazil House on High Street. From Tuesday to Friday, there are labs and salons with artists and filmmakers and writers sharing work and knowledge. And then over the weekend, that's like the big exhibition openings and performances on High Street.
Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Elizabeth Saki, urged everyone to participate as the festival is socially and economically profitable for the people of Accra and Ghana as a nation.
Towards this end, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, that is the AMA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Ghana Tourism Authority, and the organizers of the Chalewote Street Art Project wish to bring to the attention of the general public and all corporate entities that due to the incessant ambushing and exploitation of the festival's active public spaces by corporations, all brands that have set up activation spaces or plan to erect activation spaces within the perimeter of Chalewote Street Art Festival must seek approval from the AMA. We wish to use this opportunity to rally the citizenry to show interest in the event and support the various activities by participating.
Here's another exciting news. Our very own Bridget Otu, who is a presenter here at Metro Television, got married earlier today in a colorful ceremony at Takoradi in the Western region. Here are excerpts from the event. Well, the marriage ceremony actually took place yesterday. Congratulations to Bridget Otu. Well, that's it for entertainment news. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be back with international news. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Newsbeat. Let's see what's happening in the international front. Well, this is what is happening in the international front. Thousands of federal troops have been deployed to several Mexican border cities, including Tijuana, amid a flare-up in gang violence.
Thousands of federal troops have been deployed to several Mexican border cities, including Tijuana, amid a flare-up in gang violence. The northern state of California was hit by a wave of arson that saw nearly 30 vehicles burned and highways blocked on Friday night. It followed a week of violence and shootings in other Mexican states. The central government has blamed the chaos on the powerful Jalisco New Generation drug cartel. At least 8 people have been injured after a gunman opened fire on a bus near the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City, Israeli officials say. The suspects opened fire as the pilgrims were returning from prayers at the holy site. 2 people, including a pregnant woman, are in a critical condition. The gunman fled, but is now said to have turned himself in. The Western Wall is one of the holiest sites in Judaism. Thousands travel to pray there every year.
That's it for today on Newsbeat. But before we go, here are the headlines. Kofi Oduro calls for the head of LaBianca. He asked President Akufo-Addo relieve her of her duties and prosecute her. Members of the Customs Staff Association punched holes in OSP reports implicating officials for their involvement in corrupt practices involving LaBianca Company Limited. And for international, at least 8 people have been injured after a gunman opened fire on a bus near the Western Wall in Jerusalem's Old City. Well, thank you so much for tuning in with us right here on Newsbeat on Metro Television. I am Ms. Edwa Akunia. Do stay tuned for more right here on Metro TV.